The SACP has set the tone for its 14th National Congress. The Communist Party has kept its options open by walking away from the ANC-led alliance while hitting out at the governing party. We have our ANN7 reporter Sindisiwe Twale live from the SACP conference. Let's cross over to her. Very good morning to you, Sindisiwe. Firstly, what is on the agenda for today?
A very good morning to you as well as the viewers. As you can see right at the back of me, I'm going to ask my cameraman to show you. There are delegates basically chanting, anticipating what the program will hold. Very excited. We've also heard that there's 1,500 delegates in attendance today, much more than when Jeremy Cronin, who's the outgoing deputy GS of the SACP, when he started, he said that there were only 30. So he's actually excited that as he's leaving the top six, but not the party, that the delegates have grown so much. Yesterday at the media briefing, we heard submissions from Jeremy Cronin, we heard submissions from Bladen Zimande, we heard submissions from Solima Baila, basically saying that they're still a part of the ANC structures as alliance partners, and they're still committed to it, but they have to admit that the factions within the ANC, their mother structure, is actually dampering the leadership and also dampering the partnership between the alliance partner. But just to talk more on this and what to expect today, I have Jeremy Cronin, the outgoing deputy GS of the party. A very good morning to you. Could you please tell us, since you've said that you're also going to be leaving the party in the top six rather, but not the structure, what can we expect from you?
Well, I mean, I think that, my adult life has been in the Communist Party, and I certainly have benefited a great deal from being in the Communist Party as an ordinary grassroots member, and had the privilege of serving under Joe Slovo, under Chris Hani, and many great South Africans and communists, but also have benefited from being part of the wider ANC as well, and this amazing liberation struggle. People often say to white South Africans who have been active in the struggle, wasn't it a big sacrifice and so on? And Joe Slovo always had a lovely response to that. He said, yes, we might have renounced some privileges and so on as white South Africans, but how can that compare with the honor of having served in one of the most outstanding 20th century liberation struggles? And so I must say I share that feeling as well. So it's with a great deal of pride that I'm stepping down, not from the party and from political activism, but from an official position within the SACP.
All right, and then what can we expect from the presentation of the Congress credential report that you're going to be delivering today?
That's a fairly routine matter. Basically, it will be to report to Congress how many delegates we're expecting, voting delegates, how many have registered, but also we'll report on the guests that are present and the numbers. So we've invited a wide array of trade union formations. There are many international guests. There are obviously also guests from the alliance partners. We've also invited veterans and stalwarts. And so the report to Congress on the credentials will basically be an indication of who's here and who's registered for Congress.
All right, and then we've also seen that there's been a strain in the relationship between the mother body, the African National Congress, and the SACP. Can we anticipate that talks of this will be also spoken about, state capture report, as well as the possible movement moving forward to the elected conference of the ANC?
No, absolutely. I mean, obviously as the SACP, which has in one form or another been in an alliance with the ANC since the 1920s, and we've benefited a great deal as the SACP from that alliance, but we also feel that we've contributed significantly also to the ANC. Many of our cadres, I mean, I went to prison, for instance, for what I was doing for the ANC and not just for the Communist Party, and many other SACP cadres, have gone to the gallows, been forced into exile, have suffered long periods in jail because of their contribution to the ANC. So we regard the ANC as a mother body, but also as something that we have jointly created with many progressive South Africans. And it's no secret that we are concerned as we speak now about the trajectory that the ANC currently finds itself on. We know that there are many, many fine comrades in the ANC, but it's also an ANC that is racked with factionalism and many problematic features. So inevitably those issues will feature in this Congress as well.
All right, and then is the SACP aligned with any faction within the ANC, or are you still impartial?
Well, we've always said that absolutely we must not get involved in ANC factions. Obviously, most of us are ANC members, and we may well be pulled in one direction or another, but we've always said that it's the job of communists not to be factionalist, to align ourselves with the best, not individuals or factions, but the best of the ANC, to align ourselves with the strategic perspective of the ANC and its important resolutions. And the current important resolution is that we need to advance a radical second phase of the National Democratic Revolution. We fully support that perspective. But as communists, we must respect also the independence of the ANC, just as we expect the ANC to respect our independence, much as there might be overlapping members between our organizations. The reason why this alliance has lasted as long as it has, going back to, in one form or another, to the late 1920s, is that we've been meticulous about saying that how you preserve an alliance of two independent formations is by ensuring that that the ANC doesn't try to dictate to the Communist Party who our leadership should be. And likewise, going into the ANC's December conference, it would be a grave mistake for the SACP to promote this or that individual within the ANC as our preferred candidate for this or that position. And we've not done that in the past, and we certainly won't be doing that going into the future. But we do want an ANC that emerges unified and based on its principal perspectives.
All right, and then just to interject, lastly, talking leadership, can we expect a change in the leadership? Can we expect other members to move up the ranks and others to also follow suit?
You're talking about
within the SACP?
Yes. No, definitely what we're saying as the outgoing Central Committee is that we need to we've got a big responsibility in South Africa currently as the Communist Party. Within the alliance, we're the most unified and coherent. We're not fighting each other. There are not big fights going on here about who should be the General Secretary, who should be the chairperson, and so forth. Some of us are willingly stepping down. We're not clinging to positions. So I think that means that we've got a very important responsibility in a very difficult time for South Africa. And that responsibility means that at a leadership level, we need to get the balance right between continuity, because that is important, stability, because that's important, but at the same time also renewal and refreshment. And so I'm hoping that I think the delegates generally understand that, and so we will see a blend of those things. I think they will see the return of many leaders, but at the same time also the refreshing of leadership structures by the influx of younger, more energetic, perhaps, comrades also coming into the leadership structure. And I think that if we achieve that at this Congress, I think it will take the party forward in good spirits.
Thank you so much. That was Jeremy Cronin, the outgoing Deputy GS or General Secretary of the SACP. We're also anticipating today that there'll be a report later on, the 13th Congress Central Committee Political Report, that is going to be delivered by Blade and Zimande. We're also anticipating that the rest of the couple of days we're going to be hearing key submissions, interesting things moving forward, as well as how far the SACP has decided, whether there's going to be delegates change and so forth. We're yet to see. Back to you in studio.